Yo, what is good, Jets Nation? Welcome back to another Jets Media live stream. And today I'm joined by the one and only Jack. How's it going, my man?
What up, baby? Happy to be
And
here.
doing good, doing good. We'll be live talking about the Jets off-season approach, some mock drafts. We're going to be recapping the Senior Bowl, which was awesome over the weekend. Some standouts. So you guys saw my video yesterday where I broke down an entire video about who are some players that the Jets should be interested in drafting from the Senior Bowl. And me and Jack are going to be talking about that again, talking about the standouts from the Senior Bowl. Maybe do a live mock draft that the chat can get involved with, so we can go over a full 5-round mock draft. Because remember, we don't have picks in the 6th and 7th round. So it's essentially a 5-round mock draft, not a 7th round mock draft. 9 picks in the first 5 rounds, 2 firsts, 2 seconds, 1 third, 2 fourths, 2 fifths. Thank you, Joe Douglas, for that much draft capital. Hopefully you can work your magic like you did last year. And yeah, I'm super excited to dive into the stream. I am feeling a little under the weather. If you guys couldn't tell, I am a little stuffy. So bear with me if you hear that a little nasally, and I'll be blowing my nose a little bit. But I'll be live regardless. Pumping through this with my buddy Jack, and we're going to be talking some Jets, and we're going to be getting into the chat. We're going to be hearing your guys' thoughts, because I really want to hear what you guys have to say about the Senior Bowl, because I love everything that we got out of the Senior Bowl. I mean, Ron Middleton just being the coach that he was, filling in at the head coach spot like we saw him over the regular season, just pumping guys up. We saw Rob Calabrese as the offensive coordinator pump up some amazing offensive play calls. We saw great plays from the tight ends. We just saw an overall great day, and the Jets, of course, coming out on top on that national squad. So I definitely want to talk about the Senior Bowl to start out the stream. So welcome into the chat, everybody. Make sure you guys smash that like button on your way in. So we're going to start off with the Senior Bowl and talk about that. Jack, what's your overall thoughts about the Senior Bowl before we get into any specific players? But watching the Senior Bowl, we were watching it together. We were live on the channel. What was your overall takeaways from what you saw from the Jets coaching staff and how they all approached it?
It was very cool, man. It was a very unique experience for me. I haven't really gotten into the Senior Bowl before. And, obviously did this year because of the Jets' opportunity to coach one of the teams. And it just appeared to me like the Jets, like our team, the national team, was just the better coached team. So that makes me feel good about our coaching staff and, the capabilities that our coaching staff has to mentor young players. But also, getting a first look at some of these players that 30 other teams in the league won't be able to do in person, like the Jets got to do for a whole week. That's an awesome advantage for us, especially with the amount of draft capital that we have coming up in this year's draft. So I think it just makes the draft process that much more exciting, and it makes this time of the year a little bit more epic for a Jets fan,
Yeah, and we saw Ian Rappaport speak to Eric Allen, a guy that works for the Jets. Obviously, we all know Allen very well. And Ian Rappaport said to him, he doesn't know who the Jets are going to draft. He has no idea, obviously, but he would not be shocked if the Jets drafted somebody in the 4th or 5th round. Is somebody that they coach in the Senior Bowl that they know way more about than anybody other team in the NFL, because they had an up-close personal perspective of how they approach the game, how they go about their business on the practice field, how they go about their business on the game field, how they work mentally. Because we heard Robert Saleh talk to the media at the Senior Bowl. And what I took away from the most of what Robert Saleh really values the most in these players, and we heard him say it when he first became the Jets head coach, but we got an understanding of how Robert Saleh is as a human. There's no denying he's an awesome human being, but we will see if he becomes, the best head coach of his possibility for the Jets. That's obviously, the writing's not on the wall for that yet. But what Robert Saleh stands out to me the most about, he really values the mentality of these players, the mental makeup. And he said, which I love, that it takes a special mindset to survive in the New York market. He's aware of the bright lights. He's aware that becoming a New York Jet comes with so much pressure, because we have fans like myself and you and everyone in the chat that's so passionate. And if there's something goes wrong, we're going to let them know. And we have beat reporters all over the place writing clickbait articles. We all know why it's so hard to win in New York, but it's awesome to hear from Robert Saleh saying that they're prioritizing that. Which player can deal with adversity the best? He didn't care about who's going to make the best catches, who's going to make the right blocks, who's going to do this. What Robert Saleh values the most is, how do these prospects handle adversity? What happens when they drop the pass? What happens when they miss a block? What happens when they get blown up? How are they going to handle that? Are they going to crumble, or are they going to, just wake up and use that adversity in a way of growth. So that's what I love from Robert Saleh, that mindset. I really hope that that translates to the draft process so we can get the right people in the building. And we saw last year, Michael Carter is a perfect example of that mental makeup, as well as Elijah Moore, as well as even Zach Wilson. The young guys we brought in last year's draft class is that exact mental makeup that they're trying to build for the culture for the New York Jets. So, Jack, what's your thoughts about the whole Robert Saleh approach, and obviously Joe Douglas as well, of they're trying to prioritize the mental makeup before anything? Because as we know, you can be as physically talented in the world. It won't matter if you don't have the right mindset to work your ass off to be a great player.
Yeah, I think it's an important thing, man. It's something we've seen in the league, before players, not being able to, handle the game at a mental level at the next step. Um, and there's a lot of responsibilities when you get to the next level, and some players just can't handle it. So I feel like, especially in a market like New York, like the one that we're in, I feel like it's definitely good to know that Saleh and Joe Douglas, take stuff like that into consideration when they're looking at these young players, because that's certainly a part of it. Obviously, what you do on the field matters most, but how you handle adversity, how you come back from a loss, how you come back after you drop a pass or missed a block or whatever it is, that's obviously a big part of succeeding at the next level, because you go from college where you're the best player on your team, that's why you're making it to the next level, to the NFL where everybody was the best player on their team, everybody's faster, bigger, stronger. It's like the valedictorian of your high school going to Harvard and being around all the other valedictorians from other high schools. It's that kind of deal. So it's obviously a big step moving from college to the next level, and it's good to know that Saleh and Joe Douglas are looking for these young men that have good character and good mental makeup, as you put it, and as Coach Saleh put it. In addition to their play on the field, because that's certainly an important part about transitioning to the next level.
Yeah, and that's the biggest, positive about the Jets being able to coach at the Senior Bowl, because they really get to see the mental makeup of these players when they actually see them on the field, how they approach the game, how they deal with it. It's way more, we have such a big advantage when it comes to this draft, especially with all the draft capital that we have. So we're very lucky. Let's hope that we take advantage of it. So let's talk about some players that stood out to us the most at the Senior Bowl. Everyone in the chat, let us know, is there any players in particular that stood out to you on offense or defense? And we're going to get into the chat, and we're going to interact with all you guys. Of course, shout out to everybody. Make sure you guys smash that thumbs up button on your way in. We're just getting started talking about the Senior Bowl and all other news surrounding the New York Jets in today's live stream. Love breaking down everything related to the New York Jets. So we're going to start off with the defensive side of the ball, because I feel like that really stood out to me the most personally,
for sure.
at the Senior Bowl, especially at the line of scrimmage. We saw the national squad's defensive line absolutely wreak havoc all game long. And that's just so awesome to see for many reasons, because we know that the New York Jets, their system is all about the pass rush. And we know if we don't have a pass rush, the defense will not thrive. And that's exactly what happened last year. Carl Lawson was down. Vinny Curry was down. All of our top tier edge rushers were down. And the pass rush was inconsistent, which resulted in the defense being last in the NFL. So what the Jets did at the Senior Bowl, they ran the same exact scheme, and we had four guys rotating in and out, getting to the quarterback with ease. And obviously we had a stacked defensive line of talent at the Senior Bowl, but they coached them up. And you can tell that they had that all gas, no break mentality. And the guy that won Senior Bowl MVP was Perrion Winfrey from Oklahoma, the defensive tackle, who's probably going to go in the first round, if not early in the second round. He looked like an absolute monster. There's also guys across the line that I love, like Boy Maffei, Majai Sanders from Cincinnati, even Jesse Luketto is a linebacker for Penn State. He lined up on the edge. He got a couple of sacks. I just feel like the defensive line, the edge rushers, and the pass rush really stood out to me the most at the Senior Bowl. Well, how about you, Jack?
I totally agree, man. I think that it was, a show that the defense put on, specifically the pass rushers. And I love the fact that it's, Saleh's defense that we're out there seeing, absolutely disrupt the passing game like that. Just the guys you said, Perrion Winfrey, Majai Sanders, but especially Boye Mafe for me, man. He came screaming off the edge, got a couple nice sacks. You could also see the instincts to go for the strip sack in him as well. So, he's a player that I would not mind picking up. In the mid rounds to later rounds of the draft. We'll see what happens. I mean, maybe he'll be a first round pick now all of a sudden. I doubt it, but who knows? He's definitely a player to look out for. Um, and watching him was fun, man. It's gonna be exciting to see where a player like that is gonna fall. Because in the mock drafts you'll see over the next week or so, it's gonna be like the Senior Bowl overreaction mock drafts. While this is fresh in everybody's memories, it's a lot of these Senior Bowl standouts are gonna be shooting up draft boards. But hopefully a guy like Mafe might stick around, third round, fourth round.
Daniel Jeremiah said he might be a first-round target after he saw what he did in the Senior Bowl and
I
after he did
know.
some tape on him.
I know, but before that, it's kind of he was flying under the radar. So I'm just kind of hoping that the 24-hour news cycle will push Boye Mafe to the back of everyone's heads, and then we can go get him in the mid rounds of the draft. Because the more I think about it, we're probably not going to end up being able to take one of these top 2 edge rushers. We're going to have to grab an offensive lineman at 4, I would imagine. But I still definitely, absolutely want to take an edge rusher at some point in this draft. So if we can get a guy like that in the mid rounds, to compete with a guy like Bryce Huff and play on the opposite side of a healthy Carl Lawson, I think that would be fantastic. So yeah, those guys stood out, man. And once again, it was wonderful to know that it was Middleton, it was Saleh coaching these guys up. So love that.
Another player that I forgot to mention who was a really big standout for the Senior Bowl, he didn't play in the game, but he was probably the most player in the practice that was the biggest standout. That's Jermaine Johnson, the edge rusher from Florida State. He was like the number one guy buzz coming out of the Senior Bowl throughout the week of practice, and he dominated so much to the point where he pulled himself out of the game. He's like, all right, I did my duty here. I don't want to risk any injury. I don't need to do anything else. I showed to the coaching staff what I can do in practice and dominate people one-on-one. And Jermaine Johnson, I think, could be a big-time target for the New York Jets, especially at number 10. Because if we do not get an edge rusher at number 4, like Jack alluded to, it's highly unlikely that one of Hutchinson and Thibodeau falls us at 4. It's possible, but I'm not going to, bank on that. So say we do take an offensive lineman at 4, I'd be okay with Jermaine Johnson at number 10. How do you feel about Jermaine Johnson, Jack? Because unfortunately, we did not get to see him play at the Senior Bowl in the game, but all throughout the week, he was the talk of Senior Bowl. He was one of the biggest standouts that was coming out of the Senior Bowl. So what are your thoughts about Jermaine Johnson, the edge rusher from FSU?
Yeah, he was certainly one of the bigger names that you heard, floating around Jets Twitter and just, football Twitter in general this week. As fans of all teams are keeping an eye out on these prospects. But yeah, man, Jermaine Johnson just looked extremely impressive. I love how you put it, to the point where he was like, I don't need to risk an injury playing in this game. Like, I showed everybody what I can do. And he's physical, he's quick, he's got pretty much he checked every box that you'd want from an edge rusher. So he's another guy. It's going to be very interesting to see where he falls come draft time.
Yeah, and then another player on the defensive side of the ball, which could be a mid to late round target for the Jets. Actually, probably like second, third round, is linebacker Chad Muma from Wyoming. He was all over the place. I really loved his game. We know that the Jets have a big time need at linebacker. I feel like he could be potentially a third round target for the Jets. I wouldn't want them to take him in the second round at either 35 or 38. Maybe if he's there in the third round, we can snag him up, or maybe if he falls into the fourth round, you never know. But Chad Muma, the linebacker, he was pretty much everything you want from a linebacker. And obviously, he's not the only good linebacker in the draft class. We're just talking about the players that stood out to us the most in the Senior Bowl, because I think it's going to be 100% case that the Jets are going to draft at least one player that we coached in the Senior Bowl. So Chad Moon was a guy that I liked on defense. And on the safeties, Jalen Petrie from Baylor, he looked like a guy that I want on the New York Jets for sure, because we have a big-time hole at the safety position. He was a big reason why Baylor's defense was even remotely close to good in college football last year. He was their best defender by far, and he just fits this system beautifully. So that's another player I love to see. Kobe Bryant had a couple good plays, the cornerback from Cincinnati. JT Woods, the other safety from Baylor, he had that game-sealing interception. So there's just a lot of defensive players around the defensive line that needs to get talked about, in Chad Muma, Jalen Petrie, and all these guys. So what's your thoughts about Petrie and all the guys I just mentioned, Jack?
Yeah, man, flying around the secondary, as you said, we have a pretty glaring hole at safety now. We're not sure what's going to happen with Marcus May. We're not sure if Ashton Davis is going to be a viable player for us or not. Petrie is out there making plays happen. And like you said, he was one of the pretty much the only reason that defense was successful in college, and he's just a baller, and he seems like a guy that would totally fit this scheme. And we got a lot of young guys already in this secondary, and I think that he would just fit the culture that we're building in this secondary specifically. perfectly, man. I think that he would be a great fit.
Yeah, for sure, man. Chad Muma, he's probably not going to be able to fall out of the second round. He's probably going to definitely be gone by the time we pick again the third round. But you never know. Crazier things happen. I would love Jalen Petrie in the third round. I got him in a lot of my mocks that I've been doing recently. He falls into the third round sometimes. Even a guy like Kobe Bryant, maybe we can get him in the fourth round as well. There's a lot of players on this defense on our own roster at the Senior Bowl that we were looking at up and close and personal, and the Jets are definitely going to be interested in them. So let's switch over to the offensive side of the ball. There's a lot of players that stood out. I think the one position group that a lot of Jets fans are most excited about the most is the tight ends. The tight end group is the number one position that Jets fans are all in agreement on, that we need to make sure we draft at least one, if not two, tight ends. So Jeremy Ruckert was unable to play in this game. He unfortunately had a loss in the family, so he was not able to play. So, thoughts goes out to his family. Hope everything's okay. But we got Trey McBride. We all know that he's the biggest, draft crush of all Jets fans. Everybody wants Trey McBride in the second round. I wouldn't be shocked if he's not even there at 35, which would be really unfortunate. But then another guy, Jake Ferguson, the tight end from Wisconsin, he got into the end zone. He actually was more productive than Trey McBride in terms of, stats, and he looked like a really good tight end as well. Even Cole Turner. There's a lot of guys on this roster at the tight end group that Joe Douglas was paying really close attention to, and we all know that the tight end group is a big-time hole. And the best part about Trey McBride's touchdown that we saw was it was a staple of Mike LaFleur's offense. It was just, you can just see, envisioned Zach Wilson doing the same exact thing if we do draft McBride in the red zone, play action bootleg, crossing route over the middle. He's wide open. Quarterback rolls to the right. Touchdown. I'm just like, wow, can that please come to reality? We need this man. So what was your thoughts about the tight end group and Trey McBride and Jake Ferguson? Do you want the Jets to draft one or two tight ends? Maybe we do miss out on Trey McBride. Would you be open to drafting Jake Ferguson maybe in the third or fourth round? So what are your thoughts about the tight ends?
Yeah, first of all, is that better, everybody in the chat? I know everybody's saying my mic is a little low.
Yeah, it's good.
I hope that's better. But yeah, tight ends, man. Tight ends. We haven't had a relevant one in like 12 years. We need to draft two, sign one. For sure. We need at least 3 new bodies in this tight end room. And, obviously McBride has been at the top of our list for a while now, but a guy like Jake Ferguson, man, this is what the Senior Bowl can do. This is what's awesome about the Senior Bowl. Now if McBride doesn't fall to us in the second round, I'd be comfortable drafting a guy like Jake Ferguson, a little bit later in the draft, or wherever he's going to fall in the draft. Because he's thought of as primarily a blocker, which we obviously know we're going to need blocking tight ends still because of the run game we're trying to implement. But the fact that he went out there and balled out as a receiver as well, he put himself on the map, and he put himself on the radar of, I would say, many teams' fans, but definitely especially Jets fans with our glaring need at the position. So I'm hopeful that we can grab, maybe both of those guys, at least one of those guys. But yeah, man, it's no joke. Like, we definitely do. I would love to draft 2 tight ends. I know a lot of people out there feel the same way. I know you feel that way. I would love to draft 2 tight ends. I would love to sign a tight end. Like, we need tight ends, like, immediately. Yeah, we need our own George Kittle.
And we're lucky because this is the draft class where we have so much capital. It's also the draft class that's super deep at tight ends. Like, we can get one in Ruckert in the third or fourth round. I'd be all on board. Bring in Jeremy Ruckert. Went to high school at Lindenhurst. Grew up a Jets fan. Obviously, that's not why you draft him. But, hey, local town. Didn't work out for Greg Van Roden. Maybe it'll work out for Ruckert if we bring him in, the local Long Island native. But Ruckert, it's unfortunate we did not get to see him at the Senior Bowl because I know that he would have put on a show as well because he's just – his potential as a receiver is through the roof. You see his tape over at Ohio State. He has one-handed catch, the high pointing the ball. I mean, Jeremy Ruckert's a really good prospect, and I hope the Jets can draft either one of him, McBride, even Turner. There's so many guys in this draft class when it comes to the tight end groups that gets me super, super excited. Even there's just so many guys. It really is. And the tight end group definitely needs to be a focal point for the Jets going into this draft class. And then wide receivers, Christian Watson was a number 1 guy for the national squad. He got not really that many targets. He kind of disappointed me. Not really his production. Not like he did anything bad. But the one receiver that stood out to me was Bo Melton out of Rutgers. He was, the kick return to the punt return. He was speedy. He was getting swing passes, picking up the first down with his legs. I love the speed and burst that he got. And then Jalen Tolbert was the wide receiver on Americans team that actually stood out to me the most in terms of the receivers from South Alabama. He could be a mid round target for the Jets at the wide receiver position. Say we do not draft a receiver in the first or second round. Maybe Tolbert's a guy that we can target. I like his game. Even Bo Melton. I'll take Bo Melton late in the 5th round, or maybe we trade back into the 6th round. We take him as a special teams guy. I like Bo Melton a lot. So now let's talk about the trenches on the offensive side of the ball, Jack. We had a stacked offensive line. We had Trevor Penning. We had Zion Johnson, Daniel Falele, Bernard Raymond. I mean, we had so many guys on this Jets offensive line that's going to be first, second round picks in this year's draft class. Are there any guys that you're looking at that you want the Jets to draft? Me personally, if a guy like Zion Johnson falls to the 2nd round and say we do not draft a guard in the 1st round, which is pretty unlikely, I love to take Zion Johnson. He's played guard his entire life, but he played center for the first time in his life at the Senior Bowl. Maybe that's the Jets telling him, hey, we're looking for a center potentially. Let's get some reps over there. Or maybe it's just him trying to show coaches everywhere that he's versatile and he can do both. And a guy like Trevor Penning, he lined up at left tackle. He was a big-time star of Senior Bowl, especially in the practices, just being dirty, violent, throwing people to the ground, getting into fights. You love the edge he plays with. Joe Douglas was talking to him at the practice a lot. Daniel Falele, he was just a big-time man. Bernard Raymond, the tackle. So are any of these guys on your radar for the Jets in this draft class, or are you looking at just the Jets taking an offensive lineman at number 4 and not really looking at the guys later, the 2nd or 3rd round?
It's interesting, man. We're fortunate enough to have so many picks, and we're fortunate enough to be in a year where there's, a lot of O-line depth. So it's going to be really interesting to see who we take at 4. Knowing Joe Douglas, if it's not one of these top edge rushers, it's 100% going to be an offensive lineman, just based on the current needs of our team. I don't know if that's going to end up being one of these guys that we saw this past weekend. It might end up being a guy like Evan Neal or maybe a Charles Cross or somebody like that. Who knows? But listen, man, I mean, there was definitely some impressive guys that we saw out there for sure. I mean, Falele is massive. I'm personally staying away from a guy his size just because we already have another tackle who's a massive human being that we're having longevity issues with. So I'm staying away from that personally. But, he could be an absolute monster for whoever decides to draft him. Zion Johnson, I'm obviously big on as well. I feel like he's probably the number 1 name amongst Jets fans in terms of realistic needs for our team as we get, maybe in the 2nd or potentially even 3rd round. Who knows? But yeah, man, I would love to grab a guy like Zion Johnson. He would definitely fill the need at guard. So yeah, I think there's definitely options on the table. When it comes to that 4th overall pick, though, it may end up not being one of these guys we saw at the Senior Bowl, but who knows, man? I think that there's a good chance. Trevor Penning as well. Obviously, as you mentioned, Joe Douglas was speaking to for a long time. So, there's a good chance that we might see one of these guys eventually on the Jets. It's tough to tell at this point. How number 4 is going to shake out. In terms of the draft. So we'll see, man.
For sure. So guys, I want to hear your thoughts about this. ESPN's Jordan Reed, he came out with a 2-round mock draft for the Jets, right? And I want to hear your thoughts about if you'd be happy with this or not happy with this. I personally think this is the perfect mock draft. If this were to happen, I'd be jumping for joy. Obviously, we don't know what happens after the first 2 rounds, but I'm going to try to bring it up on the screen real quick so you guys can see. I tweeted it out so you guys can see which one I'm talking about. Here we go. All right, so Jordan Reed has the Jets taking Ikem Ekwonu with the 4th overall pick, wide receiver Garrett Wilson with the 10th overall pick, edge rusher Majai Sanders, who we coached in the Senior Bowl from Cincinnati, and then Trey McBride with that pick. So let's get into people in the chat. Great pick. Some people are up for it. Some people are saying no. Some people are saying this is the best mock they've ever seen. This needs to happen. Yes. So everybody in the chat, what's your thoughts? Would you want this hypothetical scenario with the 1st and 2nd rounds? Jack, what's your thoughts to say this actually came to fruition? How would you feel about these 4 players being our picks in the first 2 rounds?
I think it's a home run, man. I think that you grab a stud in Ekwonu, you grab a stud in Wilson. Sanders, the fact that we got the first look at him this past weekend, I feel like you grab a stud with him. And then, obviously Trey McBride has has been at the top of Jets fans' lists for a while now. So I think that would be a home run for sure. Based on our current needs. I keep going back and forth in my own head. Do I want to draft a wide receiver in the first round? Do I not want to draft a wide receiver in the first round? I don't know, man. It's going to be interesting, but I think that right there is a home run for sure.
Yeah, like the
based
only
on
thing,
us filling the need of an edge rusher that early in the second round as well.
yeah, exactly.
That's still a premium position that we need more bodies in. So if we don't get one of those top guys, I guess I'd be down to take a receiver at 10, because that's also an area of need for us for sure. But I like that it's still prioritized.
Yeah, I agree. I feel like getting Majai Sanders in the second round, which I don't think is going to happen. I think he's a first round pick, makes up for the Jets taking a wide receiver at number 10. And obviously, you would assume Thibodeau and Hutchinson's off the board, which is why we go Kwanu. And Garrett Wilson is just, the Wilson to Wilson connection. We're hopeful for the future. Garrett Wilson's a speedy guy that will complement Corey Davis and Elijah Moore and make our wide receiver room very scary. And we got a crazy super sticker from Cash Money. Thank you so much for the super sticker, my man. Greatly appreciate the donation. That means a lot to the channel. Everybody hype in the chat for Cash Money with the $50 super sticker, my man. Really do appreciate that. Cash Money, that means a lot to the channel. You have no idea how much this means. So thank you so much, my man. I really do appreciate that. Really do appreciate that. So I want to hear your guys' thoughts about this rumor. And Jack, I want to hear your thoughts as well. This is not draft related. This is more free agency related. So I'm going to quickly put it on the screen. There's a rumor that Braxton Berrios is looking to be the highest paid slot receiver at $9 million per year. So, Jack, if this is true and Braxton Berrios is looking for $9 million per year, would you want the Jets to give him that contract, or would you rather them look elsewhere via free agency or draft someone late in the draft to fill in that void of that slot receiver and special teams?
Oh, man, $9 million is obviously a shit ton of money for Braxton Berrios. But the receipts are there, man. You can go back maybe a month or so now and watch the both of us on a stream on a Monday night like we are right now saying, give Berrios the max contract next year, give Berrios any amount of money that he wants. We need him for the culture, yada, yada, yada. But now that it's time to actually shell out the dough, everybody's hesitant, which I understand, man. I mean, it's a lot of money for a player like Braxton Berrios. And ultimately, is a player like Braxton Berrios replaceable? Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
So it's tough. I'm very conflicted in my head. I wish that wasn't the case. I don't know who's going to pay him $9 million.
Patriots.
So, I mean, maybe, I guess. But, I think he might be a little in over his head.
He's coming off being an all-pro. He's going to have all the leverage. It's just typical, testing free agent. His agent's going to say, oh, he's all-pro. He's this, he's that. So it's going to be tough because Joe Douglas is coming off an offseason where he did not pay Robbie Anderson, and he openly admitted saying that was the wrong decision. Robbie Anderson had a great season with the Panthers, and then in year number 2 with the Panthers, he kind of regressed big time. So we don't know if that was the right or wrong decision. So now Joe Douglas has a big-time decision. Does he pay Braxton Berrios? If he can get him for $7 million, do it. But my biggest concern is we let Braxton Berrios walk and he gets $8 million elsewhere for like the Bucks or like the Patriots or just a team, and he just becomes like, the next Wes Welker or something. Like that's something I just don't want to happen. And I love Braxton Berrios. Like I want him on the Jets big time. But you do not give him a contract anything north of $7 million per year. I think that's the most I would do. Even that's a lot for a special teams player and a slot receiver. Very unfortunate that that's going to be the asking price. But again, it's a rumor. We do not know if that's going to be the case. You can definitely replace him in the draft. But at the same time, you can't. Like, he is a replaceable player, but at the same time, he's a former valedictorian. He's a very smart guy. He's a great locker room presence. He has a great relationship with Zach Wilson. The chemistry's there. He knows the system. Like, there's a lot of reasons why the Jets should really go all pursue in signing Braxton Berrios. But if it's $9 million, then yeah, that's a little steep for me.
Yeah, without a doubt, man.
Really unfortunate, but let's see if that actually happens. So let's get into some mock drafts, guys. You guys ready? We're going to do a mock draft together.
Let's do it, baby.
And again, shout out to Cash Money for the super sticker. This is a gigantic donation. Really does mean a lot, my man. So I'm pulling it up now. We're going to do this together, everybody. Jets mock draft. Remember, 5 rounds because we don't have any picks in the 6th and 7th rounds. We're not scrubs. Who the hell picks in the 6th and 7th rounds? We trade our picks to get up. We got 2 firsts, 2 seconds, 1 third, 2 fourths, 2 fifths, 9 picks in the first 5 rounds. You kidding me? Even though I am expecting the Jets to move all around the draft when it comes to April, I'm expecting us to pick up a 6th or a 7th by trading back, definitely. But hey, we're gonna live it with what we got now.
Yeah,
so,
shout out Cash Money though with another one. You peep that, Rich?
whoa, is this real?
Cash Money, baby.
Cash Money sending another $50 dono. Thank you so much, my man.
That's
this
incredible.
Cash Money, I appreciate you sending out that Cash Money. Big time donation. This helps out the channel so much. You have no idea. So Cash Money, once again, thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. You have no idea how much that means to the channel. Dinner's on me, Pedro. You're right. All right. So this super sticker is going to stay up for a while. But let's start it off. So here we go. Okay, so it goes Hutchinson, Thibodeau, and Neal as the top 3. So everyone in the chat, spam who you want. Is it Kyle Hamilton? Is it Ekwonu? Is it yeah, so let us know. My pick personally is going to be Ekwonu here.
I gotta make my screen bigger. I can't see shit. Yeah, my pick's definitely gonna be Ekwonu for sure.
We got Hamilton, Ekwonu, Hamilton, Linderbaum at 4.
Cross is nice, yo. Cross is nice. Cross should be in consideration if he's available.
Yeah, I agree. I just feel like the fit for Ekwonu is his versatility, being able to line up on the inside is like such a perfect scenario for the Jets, which is why he's like light in his feet and powerful up front, which makes him be versatile to line up on the inside. And he's also has experience where it's like we have George Fant and we have Becton. And if we can get Ekwonu at right guard and then he becomes the future right tackle potentially, or maybe left tackle, I don't know. That's why I personally love Ekwonu so much. But you're right. Cross definitely deserves some love.
Let's bring him in there, baby. Let's bring in Ekwonu immediately.
All right, Ekwanu's the pick. All right, we're back at 10. So the Giants took Hamilton. Panthers went Stingley. And the Giants got Cross. Falcons went Karlaftis. The Broncos went Denver. So now here we are. The Jets are on the clock, and these are the people available. We got Sauce Gardner, Linderbaum, Garrett Wilson, Devin Lloyd, Drake London, Nakobe Dean. So everyone in the chat, spam who you want.
I'm kind of down. Draft Tyler Linderbaum.
Offensive line. Doubling down.
I'm down.
Then what we do?
Santana's down. I'm standing by it, dude. People
okay, so if we do
crazy.
that, what if we draft the Ekwonu at 4 and then Linderbaum at 10? What happens to McGovern?
Later.
We just cut him?
Peace. I don't care what happens to him, honestly, dude.
That would be insane. I've been falling in love with the idea of getting Sauce at 10 big time. Like, he could be, like, man, oh, man. If he falls to 10, if we take him. But I really do want to take an edge rusher eventually. So let's see. I don't know. This is so tough for me. All right, let's get into the chat. What do people want? We got Ajabo, Jermaine Johnson, Gardner, Burks, Nakobe Dean, Johnson or Burks, Ajabo, Linderbaum won't be there at 10. Trade, Burks, Sauce, Burks, Ajabo, trade down, Wilson. We don't need a center. Sauce Gardner, Bryce Hall are built very similarly, lengthy and tall. Man, it's so tough. Like, Sauce Gardner, like, I'm down, but at the same time, I'm down for, like, an edge rusher and Jermaine Johnson. Like, where is he even on this? He's all the way down here. But he's definitely going to be a first-round pick. Maybe we can get him the second round in this mock for fun. All right, so everyone make your final vote. Everybody in the chat, spam who you want. Jack, who's your final say?
I don't know, man.
With Ekwonu at 4. Is it Sauce? Is it doubling down on offense and giving Zach Wilson a weapon and Wilson or a Burks? Is it getting our cornerback of the future alongside Bryce Hall, and then we have the 2 cornerbacks set up for the next hopefully 5+ years in Bryce Hall and Gardner? Is it Linderbaum?
I'm down for Traylon Burks.
You down for Burks? You down for the receiver?
Like a lot of people in the chat are down for Burks, and I'd prefer Burks over Wilson or London.
Did I pass Burks? Oh, here it is. All right. I agree. We're taking Treylon Burks. Burks is the pick. I'm all on board for that, baby. Let's go. We got another donation from Cash Money. He says, take them all with the $5 donation. I wish, Cash Money. Appreciate you, my man. All right. So we're in the second round. For some reason, it has us at picks 36, but it should be 35. So they got to fix that. But here are the people that are available. Raymond, we can take Ryder, right? Filelli's still here. Jermaine Johnson's available. I think that has to be the pick, honestly. Zion Johnson, Chad Muma, Majai Sanders.
Yeah, go for Johnson.
All right, guys, who we want? Is it Jermaine? We do not have an edge yet.
Yeah, let's lock him in.
Where is he? I lost him. I don't think he falls to the second round, but hey, we're going to be unrealistic tonight. All right, so now our second pick. Where's Trey McBride at? We're not taking any risks. You already know what the pick is.
There he is.
I'm not
Just
even
go past him. You're past him.
I'm not even going to let you guys answer this because I want Trey McBride more than anybody else, okay? Trey McBride's a New York Jet. Boom. Boom.
On it.
So far, we drafted Ikem Ekwonu, Treylon Burks, Jermaine Johnson, McBride. So now we're in the third round. Ooh, Chad Muma's available, and Jalen Petrie, and Tolbert. All the Senior Bowl boys. Oh, this is getting tough. All right, guys. So we went 3 offense, 1 defense. We got Ekwonu at 4. We got Treylon Burks. And then we got Jermaine Johnson, and then we got Trey McBride. So we went 3 offense, 1 defense.
We got an edge.
We got an edge.
I'm saying we definitely go defense here.
So is it
Just
Muma?
For me, it's between exactly. It's between Muma and Petrie.
Muma and CJ?
I know. I kind of think it's Muma. CJ's alone out there, man. You know, CJ needs
Quincy will be, rotational.
Exactly. Yeah, but he's not a starting linebacker.
Oh, look who went before us. Right before us, Winfrey. That would have been the pick. If Winfrey didn't go right before us, I would have already sent that in. That man's an absolute monster. Picture him on a rotation with Quinnen and John Franklin Myers and Sheldon Rankins. Oh, my God. That makes me... All right. Chad Muma is the pick. Even though Petrie could definitely be a beast as well. And Petrie went. All right. We're back on the clock. How do I see, who I drafted so far on this stupid thing?
I have no idea.
I can't see my own draft board. Everyone know how to do that? Trade? No, we're not going to do trades today. All right, I can't really look, but I'm pretty sure I'll run it off if I can quickly remind everybody. If you're just joining in, so far we have Ekwonu at 4. We got Burks at 10. We got Jermaine Johnson. And then we got Trey McBride. And then we got Muma.
Yep.
And now we're on the clock in the 4th round. So everybody in the chat, who do you guys want in the 4th round? Is it Sky Moore? I don't think so. We already got Burks. Do we go offensive line? Do we go safety? Do we go corner? Do we go Rucker, double down on the tight ends? Do we go
We could go Damon Pierce, running back.
Secondary help?
We could
No
go,
way, Cash Money. Another one?
Is this real? I can't tell if this is like, wait, is this another one?
That's an additional one.
Dude, Cash Money, you are the GOAT, man. What the hell? Everyone spam Cash Money is the GOAT in the chat right now because that man's sending out Cash Money. And I love you, bro. Thank you. Thank you so much. That means so much.
Money. That's
Cash
fire.
Money. Thank you, bro. Thank you so much. I don't know what else to say. Do you want to hop on the channel with us? Like this is amazing. All right. Cash Money, you get to pick the next pick. And in the chat, who do you want in the 4th round?
Who do you want for the rest of the draft?
Yeah,
What do you want us to do with our lives?
Yo, Cash, you get to choose the rest of the draft. You become Joe Douglas now. All right, so we're going to wait for Cash Money to pick the next player for us in the 4th round. Here's who's available. Is Kobe Bryant available? I don't think so. Nope.
Is Cash going to pick the next person?
All right. So we got some Cash says I can't see. It's right here, man. Look, we got Ruckert available. We got Joseph. We got a lot of players still on the board in the 4th round. That's looking pretty tasty. Pretty good. Pretty good. So what position do you guys here? Let's look at some secondary help because I don't think we got anybody there. CB. We got Marcus Jones available, JoJo Doman, both the Nebraska boys. Still some decent players available. Let's see what's going on with the safety position. Kirby Joseph, Marcus Jones.
Man. People want Joseph. I guess Cash Money doesn't want to pick.
We'll get you on the next one.
Oh, no. Cash Money said Joseph.
Did he?
Yeah, right there.
Oh, Cash Money says Joseph. We're taking Kirby Joseph from Illinois, baby. We got our safety
Let's go, baby.
of the future.
Let's go. Cash Money, baby.
All right. We're already back on the clock. Or did I not? No, I did. Rucker went. Okay. So now we're back on the clock. And it feels like nobody left the board. So this is our second 4th round pick. Let's see if there's any CBs that you guys like, or who are the tight ends are still available.
Yo, Cash Money is really out here, man.
Jake Ferguson, Cash $5. Joseph, we got Joseph for you, my man. All right, so Santana asks who we have. Unfortunately, I don't know how to work this where I can't show you like our board, but here. So who we have so far is Aquanu, Traylon Burks, Jermaine Johnson, Trey McBride, Chad Muma, Kirby Joseph, and Joseph. Or no, I just said Joseph. Who do we take in the 3rd? Oh, no, yeah, we're good. Chad Muma and then Kirby Joseph, and then now we're on the clock right now. So the big question is, some people want us to go running back.
I was down.
Okay, let's see who's available. Damian Pierce, or we can get Zach Wilson's boy, who is an absolute stud. I see a lot of people want him. Cash Money, the new member of the channel. Welcome to the Jets media family, my man. You're welcome with open arms here. Or we can get James Cook, the younger brother of Dalvin Cook. Hassan Haskins. Is there a boy here from the Senior Bowl all the way down here? There he is, the last one, Abram Smith.
You guys remember him in the Senior Bowl?
He's a dog.
All right, we're going to go Algier. We're going to take Zach Wilson's boy. The connection's there. The future Jets halfback room is Michael Carter in this man. All right, so now our 5th round selection. We can double down and get Jake Ferguson so we can get McBride and Ferguson on the squad. Or let's see if there's any get another receiver. We can even do that. Let's see. Who's available at the receivers that I like? Yeah, there's still decent receivers available. Brian Cook. Who do you guys want? Just looking through everybody that's available.
Yes, sir, Cash Money. We took them just for you, my man. Look at guard.
Jack, is there any position group that you want to see the Jets draft in the 5th round in terms of more like a developmental piece? This is interior offensive line that's available for the people asking.
I don't know, man. I feel like this is a good time to think about drafting, like, you know, a player that'll be in a position group that you kind of view as strong already.
Like Lindstorm still available. Some people in the chat like him. Center from Boston College.
Like that I would be down for sure. For something like that. McGovern doesn't suck, but like I'm over him. I'm down to have a Linderbaum. I'm down to have a beast that I know is going to be a beast for, you know, the next decade.
All right, so we're going with the value. We're taking Lindstorm, baby. All right, our last pick of the draft is coming up. So, do we double down on tight end and get Jake Ferguson and take the Senior Bowl duo of McBride and Ferguson?
100%.
Or which position did we not really tackle?
It's time to put our money where our mouth is and draft 2 tight ends like we said we were going to do. We're drafting 2 tight ends.
Red Run's a beast here. Or say, what if Braxton's out the door? Do we take a flyer on where's my boy at?
You got to take Jake
there he is.
Ferguson.
Bo Melton, baby.
Jake Ferguson. Bo Melton,
baby. You know he's the move. Undrafted free agent.
Bo Melton.
Look at these tight ends
That are still available, everybody. We already got Muma.
Safety, get Goodrich. Look at all these beautiful names.
All right. So let's get into the chat. We got McBride, get Goodrich, Ferguson, safety, kicker. So who do you guys want right now?
Who do you guys want? I wish I could show you everyone that we took, but I can't. Right after this, you can see the draft results. You know what?
All right, we're going Ferguson. You want to know why? Because Cash Money came through with another big-time donation. Cash Money, you're the GOAT.
We're taking Jake Ferguson for you, my man. Jake Ferguson, that's exactly who I would have taken as well. We took the Senior Bowl duo. So now we got the full results here. Jack, what do you think about the results, my man?
I think that
Want to read them off?
starting off in the first round, pick 4, we got Ikembe Kwonu, offensive tackle, and then we got Traylon Burks later in the first, and then we got Jermaine Johnson, edge, then we got Trey McBride, tight end, Chad Muma, linebacker, Kirby Joseph, safety, Tyler Algier, halfback, Alec Lindstrom, the center of the future, and Jake Ferguson, tight end from Wisconsin, who popped off at the Senior Bowl. We're the Senior Bowl squad. We got McBride, we got Chad Muma, we got Ferguson. It's nice. It's nice. I think it's an A++++.
Everyone give this draft a letter grade. Don't hold back. If it's crap, let me know. If it's great, let me know. If it's middle of the pack, let me know.
Listen, man, for a team with as many
as many needs as we have. Jesus, Cash Money. Is Cash Money a dog or what?
I can't tell if this is like real. Like, what is happening? Wait, Cash Money. Thank you, bro.
Is this actually like?
I don't know what
coming
else to say.
to your bank account. Like, does that how does that work?
Cash Money, you're the GOAT, bro.
That's crazy.
I'm actually have to. I won't do that now. I'll show you guys in another stream. But all right. So let's get over this pick by pick. Cash Money. You let me know how you think about this draft because you had a lot to say with it. So we got a Kevin Kwanu at 4. He's going to be the guy that could be the future of this offensive line alongside of Elijah Vera Tucker and Mekhi Becton. Traylon Burks is going to be hopefully our version of Deebo Samuel, lining him up everywhere. A big-time weapon for Zach Wilson to be with Elijah Moore and Corey Davis. Jermaine Johnson going to be the edge rusher alongside Carl Lawson, who's going to be a big-time impactful player. Trey McBride going to be tight end number 1 from day number 1, which is a big-time get in the second round. Chad Muma going to be the starting linebacker alongside C.J. Mosley and Quincy Williams. We also got Jamian Sherwood. We also got Hamza Najeldine. So we got a young stud linebacker to add to the mix. We got Kirby Joseph, who can fight for the safety position. Maybe we go out there, we draft a guy in we sign a guy in Marcus Williams or Jesse Bates, and then we bring in a guy in Kirby Joseph, and he can be, either fighting for that spot as a rookie, or maybe we sign two safeties. You never know. Tyler Algier, he could be, the halfback in the rotation with Michael Carter, with Ty Johnson. You never know. Alec Lindstorm going to provide depth. I don't think he's going to be a starter from day one. I think he's going to be, working his way through. He's going to be our version of Cameron Clark, who can hopefully actually see the field and doesn't get a devastating injury. And then Jake Ferguson, who's going to be on the field with the 2 tight end sets with his buddy Trey McBride. And that is the mock draft from Jets Media. And we're going to the Super Bowl. Yes, sir.
Let's go, Cash Money.
Who plays right guard? We got a Kevin Kwanu playing right guard, George Fant at right tackle, Mekhi Becton at left tackle, Elijah Vera Tucker at left guard, McGovern at center. And then when George Fant, we do not extend George Fant, and then we kick George Fant back out to the right. We kick a Kwanu to the right tackle, and then we kick Mekhi to the left side. So that's really the vision that we got going. Let's actually talk.
Grand master plan.
Let's talk about I don't think I have it written out here. Yeah, Jack, I want to hear your thoughts because as you guys know, I made a video on this, but Robert Saleh said that the left tackle position's up for grabs between George Fant and Mekhi Becton. I want to hear your guys' thoughts of this in the chat as well. What's your thoughts about Robert Saleh saying to George Fant that this is your job to lose and Mekhi Becton needs to, work his way up? He's coming off a big-time injury. George Fant played probably the best left tackle season that we can ever expect from him. And what are your thoughts about it becoming an open competition between the two of George Fant and Mekhi Becton? And who do you think is going to eventually come out on top in that competition?
Well, I'm not going to make a prediction for who's going to come out on top. Obviously, George Fant had an incredible year for us, but Mekhi Becton was drafted where he was drafted for a reason. And we can't forget that he was absolutely pushing people around for the vast majority of his rookie season. So, I'm still huge on Mekhi Becton. I'm not turning on him quite yet. And I'm not accusing you of turning on him, and I'm not accusing anybody else of turning on him. But yeah, I don't think anything is owed to Mekhi Becton. I still think Mekhi Becton needs to go out there and prove that this job is his. But do I want Mekhi Becton to be the left tackle this year? 100% I do, because he was drafted to be that. Elijah Vera Tucker was drafted to be the left guard. And I want to see those guys playing next to each other for the next decade. So, nothing but love and respect to George Fant. But, I hope that this is Mekhi Becton's job moving forward based on the fact that Mekhi is available and that he earned it. But, I think that, this job is Mekhi's.
Yeah, I agree. You gotta, give Robert Saleh credit because he's going with the approach that you gotta, nothing's given, everything is earned, and that's what he's really showing Mekhi. If you want this job, you got to go out there in training camp and OTAs and prove to the coaching staff that not only are you in shape, but you're there mentally. You have a will to work your ass off to get back to that shape of, being a dominant force. Because like you said, Jack, people need to remember what Mekhi Becton did as a rookie. He was dominating people in the run game. He wasn't the best polished pass protector as a rookie, but you don't expect that from a rookie offensive lineman. He's only going to get better. His potential's through the roof, and I'm hoping that Mekhi Becton wins the job because he is the future. 5 years from now, I don't think Fant's going to be on the roster, but we're hoping that Mekhi Becton will be here alongside Elijah Vera Tucker for the future. This is not a knock on George Fant at all. I think he has every single reason to be the guy that deserves to compete for the job. But that, I think Jack and I are on the same page on that front. But hey, it's kind of like it's a good problem to have. Like, say Fant is a left tackle. Okay, we slide Mekhi to the right tackle. We work with it. Like, that's fine. We have 2 good tackles. Like, okay, sign me up. You know what I mean? Like, I don't really care if it's if we have 2 good tackles and we're competing for a job. Hey, you live and you learn. So, guys, we're gonna open this up to a Jets Q&A real quick before we get going. So anybody in the chat want to ask Jack and I any questions regarding the Jets offseason, whether it's the NFL draft, whether it's free agency, whether it's the Senior Bowl, whether it's the Combine coming up, let me know. Anything that you guys want us to talk about, let me know in the chat. And also make sure you guys smash that thumbs up button. How many likes we got on here? We got 56 likes with 100 of you guys watching. So let's get to 100 likes before the end of the stream if you guys are not already. Smash that like button. 56 likes with 100 of you guys watching. So make sure you guys do that. It takes 2 seconds, and it helps out the stream a ton. We get as many Jets fans in here showing some love. You love to see it.
Gang.
All right. Let's see. Any questions? Any questions in the chat?
How easy a switch would it be for Ikem to move to the right side? He would likely have to be our right guard next year.
Well, he has experience on the right side. It's not like we're just shoving him over there with no experience. So I feel like it would be an easier transition. And obviously the Jets are not going to draft him without talking to him and telling him, like, this is our plan for you. How do you feel about doing this and this and that? So that'll be all, worked out behind the scenes before they actually do that. If you had to make a prop bet for how many trades in the trade Joe D will make, what would it be? I guess you mean in the draft. 2.
Yeah, I hope it's
Douglas,
not more than 2.
Douglas is going to be going all over the place. Like, I'm expecting him in the 3rd round to maybe move back 9 spots and pick up an additional 5th or 6th. I expect him to move up in the draft as well. I'm expecting him to move up and taking a guy that he really falls in love with. For sure as well. So we'll see. Cash Money with another one. Cash Money, you are the GOAT, bro.
That's insane.
Hit my line. Yeah, I owe you a jersey or something.
That's insane, man.
Super effective. I wish I could put the sticker that he's putting, but I won't let me. You're the GOAT, man. Appreciate you. Hype in the chat for Cash Money, of course. Let's see. We talked about this earlier, Todd. Barrios is asking for $9 million. Is it worth it? I don't think that's worth it at all. But watch the Jets pass on him. Another team gives him that contract, and he becomes, one of the better slot receivers in the NFL. And we're just like, wow, we should have paid him. That's basically what's probably going to happen. I like Winfrey. I want us to draft him. Jack, how do you feel about drafting Perrion Winfrey in the 2nd round if he falls to 35? Would you think that would be a good idea or not? Because I don't know. What are your thoughts about Perrion Winfrey on the Jets? Because I'm falling in love with that man.
Yeah, he's a beast for sure. And as Salah put it the other day, we're always gonna give thought to our defensive front. So I would not put it past us to draft him in the 2nd round at all.
And he's also a pass rushing D tackle as well. He lacks in the run game, but he's really good in the pass game. And we all know that we need to get to the quarterback. Gotta go, Cash Money. Later, my man. Appreciate you tuning in. Big time.
Appreciate you, Cash Money. Richie's bank account appreciates you.
I appreciate Cash Money a lot. Big time. So Perrion Winfrey in the 2nd round, and that also gives us flexibility of, say, Quinnen Williams has to go and we don't want to extend him and pay him. We have Winfrey on the come up potentially, but I'm all on board of giving Quinnen Williams an extension or We don't need to rush for that. We could pick up his 5th-year option. He could be a franchise tag candidate. It's not going to be a while until we have to give Coin in that money. Go lineman 4th and 10th. Yeah, that's definitely going to be ideal situation. So, all right, guys, we're going to get out of here. We appreciate everybody tuning in. I like to go just like an hour or so usually. Sometimes I go more, sometimes I go less, but today I wanted to go an hour. Wow, look how many likes we got. We got 69 likes. Perfect way to end the stream. Nobody liked the video again, so it stays there. Oh, it's at 71. It's okay. Don't unlike it now. I appreciate it, guys. I appreciate it. So, guys, that really does it for this stream. Leave a comment after the stream is over. Leave a comment down below your thoughts about how the mock draft went, your grades, and some mock drafts that you guys want to do. Stay tuned for more content. We're going to be doing a lot of stuff here on Jets Media all throughout the week, all the way throughout the offseason. We'll be live during the combine, all that great stuff. You guys know what's good. Subscribe to the channel. Help me get to 10K. I'm so close. I'm at 9.83K. If you want to help me get to 10K, that would mean a lot. Jack, anything you want to say before we finish off today's stream?
Thanks for having me as always, man. Shout out to Cash Money. That's insane. And yeah, man. Appreciate everybody in the chat. Let's hope we have a successful draft, a successful offseason. But there's a lot more content on the way.
Facts, man. Appreciate everybody in the chat. Appreciate you, Jack, taking time. Thomas, great member on the channel. Jack and Richie are the best. You're the best, Thomas. You are the best.
Thomas.
George, appreciate it. John, Pedro, thanks for tuning in. Jets gang, always appreciate you. Cash Money, of course. Everybody in the chat. Jets forever. Jets gang. Cash Money. You know what's good. All love. Lou in the chat. Appreciate you as well. Let's go Jets. Peace out, everybody.